Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Top Producers Nation podcast. This, of course, is the podcast that is made to help agents in any market all over the country become a top producer in your desired market. You can check out our platform at topproducersnation.com, where you can see our online community. You can see our resources, including different consulting programs and training opportunities, online courses, and just different ways that we can help you and support you in becoming a top producer in your desired market. If you are a team leader or a broker and you want to get any assistance in developing more top producers in your organization, we also have ways to do that as well, including opportunities to come into your office and do some different workshops in your places of business. So feel free to reach out to us there at topproducersnation.com. We are powered at a local level, though, by our local franchise, which is called Tampa Bay Real Producers, which is where we feature the top 500 producing agents in the Tampa Bay market through our monthly magazine, as well as through a lot of our other programs here in the local level. And if it wasn't for our preferred partners, we wouldn't be able to do any of that. So we do bring a lot of our partners here on the show to just talk about their businesses and be able to make sure you know, as our audience, exactly what it is that they do and why, of course, they support Tampa Bay Real Producers. So today we get to hang out with Tina Romanik with HWA, Home Warranty of America. Tina, good to have you. How are you?
Yes, good. How about you?
I'm doing well, no doubt. Good to have you on the show.
Yes.
I've known you for years. We never really had a great, a tight relationship, but I've known you going all the way back to when you were a licensed realtor yourself, and so your name would pop up on some of the different reports and some of the different standings and whatnot that we had. And so we'll start with your background. Obviously, you're now here representing HWA, and I know we're going to talk about that mostly, but why don't you give the audience a little bit of a background on are you from Tampa? If not, how'd you get here? And what's the journey been like to eventually lead you to HWA?
So I'm one of the unicorns. I was born and raised in St. Pete. Been here my entire life. So it was interesting because when I got into the real estate industry back in 2015 and I started to get to know people, I was like, oh, you're from Ohio. You're from Michigan. I realized how rare it was to be a St. Pete native. So I wore that very proudly, and I've loved to see my city grow.
I'm sure you've seen it change a lot over the years, huh?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And it's been really special. But in 2015, I ended up getting my real estate license and started off as a single agent, started to get business from door knocking, and ended up joining a team. And real estate has truly changed my life in many different ways. You know, it's made me the person who I am today. It introduced me to my husband. And so,
shout out to Joey. What's going on out there, Big Joe?
Joey Romanik, yes. And it's a wild ride.
Yeah, well, I think most agents who've been around for years would probably agree that there is no, I would say, easy or seamless way to succeed in real estate. It's usually a little bit of ups and downs, and there's some roller coaster business involved.
Yeah, and as a new agent, you go through so much trial and error. You know, everybody has their niche. You know, people are great at social events. People are great at open houses. People are great at, just hammering the phones away or door knocking. So it really takes some time to find your path, find your way. And once you do, it's magic.
And there's a lot of different ways to be successful in it, which is another great thing about real estate is it's not just one avenue. You can carve your own niche and carve your own strategy that's going to work for you.
Yes.
So in your story, obviously how long were you operating or engaging as an agent? How many years was that as part of your background?
Because I did.
You said 15, right? Is when you got licensed?
Yeah, 2015.
Okay. So 10 years ago.
I did step away before to go into title.
Yeah.
And then after that, 2020, I came back as a real estate agent. That's when Joey and I, formed a team, husband and wife team. And I stepped away earlier this year in February. And February is when I joined Home Warranty of America.
Okay. So what year did the team start? Was that about 5 years ago?
Yep.
You and Joey? Okay.
2020.
And Joey's running that team today, it sounds like, right?
Yeah,
Still? Okay.
Yep, he's doing great.
So what's interesting talking with you is that you have some experience in a lot of key industries within the real estate experience, right? From obviously being the core of the agent experience. You've been operating as a solo agent. You've also obviously been part of a team building experience with your husband. You had this title background as well, which is another whole other avenue of real estate. And we obviously have title partners in what we do.
And I have so much respect for them and what they do.
It's not easy, and they work hard and they definitely work hard to build cultures within the agents that they serve and all that stuff. And then obviously now you're with HWA. So
yes.
And we want to focus our conversation on that, since that's obviously what you guys are partnering with us with right now. What was it about the whole home warranty side of things that was appealing to you? Did you ever have an interest in this before, or is this did it come out of the blue?
So it's funny because, last year I really made a point to where I'm like, I just want to get out of it. There's been aspects of the business that just got to me, stressed me out, and the stress was impacting my health. So I just knew I needed to take a step back. And of course, with how long I've been in the industry.
And this was the real estate business you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just knew I needed to take a step back from being an agent. And with the relationships that I built over the years, I'm like, if I can stay within the industry, that would be beneficial.
Sure.
I know it, and great connections. Well, one of our great partners and friends, Laura Vetter, knew that I was looking for something. And she's like, hey, would you be interested if I shared your information with HWA? They've been looking for somebody to represent the Tampa Bay area. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And so the next minute, I think it was like the next day or something.
Shout out to Laura. She's a sweetheart as well.
She is.
Yes.
We love her. And the next day, I swear, Jeff gave me a call, and Jeff is the VP of HWA.
Yep.
And
which we've known Jeff ever since his Old Republic days, and we've worked with him in different ways with some different different warranty reps in this local market. So
he's a
great
Orlando,
guy too. Yeah.
And he knows everyone well. He's very well connected, but we just hit it off, had a great conversation, and I felt good about it. He felt good about it. And, I sat back and thought about it. Out of the 10 years that I've been in this industry, there really hasn't been anybody to shine a light on home warranties.
Yep.
And to really share the importance of them and everything. So I saw a really great opportunity for me to come into this industry and really establish myself as the go-to expert. And so that really intrigued me, and I'm like, I know I can do something great with this.
Was home warranty a part of your business model at all on the real estate side when you had your team with Joey, and even as an independent agent? Did that play any? Were you used to working at all with home warranties at any point, or no?
So this is like, as the real estate industry as a whole, before the COVID market, home warranties were pretty much a standard in our industry. I learned to write them into the offer. Even the team that I ended up joining before the COVID market, that was, our strategy is like, hey, when you go to write an offer, just write it in Section E in the contract.
Yeah.
But as COVID came, it's like that kind of took away all the buyer's power. They were waiving home inspection contingencies, financing contingencies. So any extra add-ons like a warranty just went out the window. And once again, there was no one talking about it. So it was kind of like this out of sight, out of mind type thing. So,
and that was a whole crazy market in and of itself when 2021 came around, and it was insane how things were flying off the shelves, and obviously COVID was a big driver for that.
I know. I didn't like how that buying experience was. So anytime I hear somebody say that they want 2% interest rates, I'm like, no, you don't. I'm like, are you sure about that?
That was kind of talk about a unicorn. That was probably a once in a lifetime opportunity right there.
Yeah. So that was just a crazy market that kind of made the home warranty go extinct, I like to say. And so now that we have shifted, it's become more relevant than ever. And it's definitely, Joey works it into his contracts and everything, definitely as a listing agent as well.
Okay.
You know, how do you erase the buyer's objections immediately? Like, okay, the pre-list inspection, pre-list appraisal, offer a home warranty. Like, you're pretty much offering a certified home at that point.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
No doubt. So in your experience so far, and when you're building your relationships with brokers, team leaders, and I know we talked off camera how you go into offices and you want to really provide education on the process and exactly how it works.
Yeah.
It sounds like that education is pretty all-encompassing to the buyers and the seller side at this point. Do you prefer one or the other? Does it matter to you, or what do you think makes most sense?
I think it's equally beneficial for both buyers and sellers.
Okay.
And for the real estate agent in their business. And that's what I try to focus on with my presentations, is like, not only for the consumer in buying a home and having a peace of mind and protecting them financially, but also for real estate agents. I love to give them a different perspective, because of course I've come across agents that are like, I don't believe in the home warranty, but
why would an agent say that? What do you think is the concern there, or the misconception?
They feel that if they give a recommendation for a home warranty company and there is a issue that happens, it makes them look bad.
That makes sense. Okay. So they're concerned that their reputation would be at stake.
Yeah, and I can see that. I can totally understand that. But I kind of think like, hey, if I gave you a recommendation,
that could be true about anything.
Yeah, if I gave you a recommendation for a restaurant and you go to the restaurant and you have a bad experience, are you going to be hating me?
Right.
No, you're going to be hating the restaurant.
Yeah, makes sense.
So
it's the same process with the lender, with the title company. Yeah. I mean, their reputation is technically tied to all of these recommendations. Yeah.
And I also think about my relationship or my reputation as well in the industry. You know, I don't want to put anybody in a bad situation. Sure. I don't want to look bad. I don't want the agent to look bad. So it's key to having a relationship with a rep who's going to be transparent, who's going to be open and honest with you about the process, and really try to avoid that. But letting agents know how important warranties are in their business for buyer presentations, the home inspection negotiations. Here in Florida, we have a lot of aged mechanicals, a lot of older homes. And the common situation that we see is that, okay, you go through the home inspection, the seller has 25-year-old HVAC system, but it's working flawlessly.
Yep.
And of course, the home inspector is going to say something like, hey, budget to replace, it's end of service life. And that spooks the buyer. Now your buyer wants a full credit for replacement, but the seller won't give a full credit for a replacement because they don't get to enjoy that HVAC system and it's working just fine. So as a listing agent, have a warranty in your back pocket for those situations, because that's going to help save your seller giving thousands, even if they want half of that credit.
Yeah.
Saving your seller thousands of dollars.
It's a good peace of mind, because, like you said, it could solve that objection before it ever comes up.
Oh, yeah.
That I'm going to have to spend X on a new system, and for pennies on the dollar, you can just provide a home warranty, and that appeases that right there.
And something that people don't realize, and especially with Home Warranty of America, we're in all 50 states. We're a nationwide company. We have tremendous buying power. When you get a warranty through us, you are getting wholesale pricing.
Yep.
Not retail. If you pick up the phone right now and call an AC company, that's retail.
Yep.
And the prices of HVAC systems nowadays is insane.
Yeah.
I think Joey had a few quotes recently, and the cheapest one was $15,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's going up a lot. I remember getting quotes for like $5,000 not that long ago.
Oh.
Yeah. Different world, huh? Yeah. I was going to ask you that question, though, too, and you already mentioned one thing about HWA being national. I'm just curious, from your perspective, like, what is it that is different potentially, or what are some things, I guess, an agent or even a home owner or seller should look for in thinking about who they'd want to work with on the home warranty side? Are there a lot of differences between different companies that provide it? Are different things covered based on the company that you choose?
Yeah.
Or is it pretty standard?
Every home warranty is going to have their little thing that makes them unique, but understanding the company as a whole, how is their claims process, I think is huge, and their tech network as well. You know, there's some home warranty companies that were in Florida, then they pulled out of Florida, now they came back to Florida. So that's going to have an impact on their tech providers and everything. And it's like, what does that mean for the customers and their policies? And also, there are some home warranty companies that when your policy goes to renew, the plan is downgraded. They don't realize that. So that's another.
That's not something they tell you in advance, huh?
Yeah, no, that's not something. And
what's how long is the policy normally written for?
So for us, 13 months. We're home at the 13-month home warranty. So all of our terms, 13-month, because usually once the year is up, something happens the following month.
Yep. Isn't that funny how that works?
Yeah.
Strategic planning. And then if they want to renew, it would be another 13 months. Is that kind of the standard policy?
Yep.
Okay.
They could renew. And something great about us as well, because some people will get a home warranty after the transaction is said and done.
Yeah.
And what's great, you know, we offer payment plans at no extra cost. There are some home warranty companies that will charge a 7.5%, 8% fee on top of that. So those.
And are there different types of packages in terms of in the home warranty world? Is it a pretty standard all-encompassing covering X, Y, and Z?
Usually home warranty companies, like for us, we have 3 plans, and usually home warranty companies will have 3 standard plans, and they'll all vary in coverage and have their different, you know, coverages and coverage limits and everything.
Yep.
And that is one thing that when I have an agent that sends me a client, I always ask them, what's important to you? And of course, I let them know, hey, here in Florida, the number one claim is for the HVAC system. Our HVAC systems are working overdrive, especially in the summer months.
For sure.
And that's one of the most costly repairs to make as well. So I'm like, if that's your concern, I was like, this is going to be the right plan for you. This is going to protect you. This is going to encompass, you know, the HVAC system. It's going to prepare you. A lot of agents don't know about the EPA refrigerant mandate that took into effect at the beginning of 2025. So if you have to replace an outdoor unit in the indoor unit and now you've created mismatched systems, we have a plan that will cover that. A lot of home warranty plans, they'll leave that out. So it's very nuanced.
Yeah.
So
this is where the education comes in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of pieces to it. And just having somebody that you can go to and ask the questions, you know, or voice your concerns is going to be huge.
And your role, Tina, obviously you're involved in this upfront process in terms of getting the plan in place, right? And do you want to be that go-to person as well, that when there's questions down the road, during the course of the actual policy, I'm assuming you guys have a huge department that handles the actual claim calls, right?
Yeah.
And all of that. Are you involved at all with the client beyond that initial setup, or is your relationship more geared towards the real estate agent and making sure that you're answering any questions that they have? What does that look like for you?
I do have involvement. So there is a claims division, and I have a dedicated claims manager. I talk to him every single week. We have a call. We'll go over claims. Like even just before I popped in here, I get a weekly claims report.
Yep.
And so I can see, you know, here, if you were an agent and you sold clients a policy and they close on a home and everything, and they end up submitting a claim, I can reach out to you. And I usually do if it's above a certain dollar amount. If it's $200, it's okay. But last week I had a claim for $1,200 on pool equipment.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, that's
like a new pool pump or something.
Yes. And so I reached out to the agent, let her know what's going on. And if she wants to reach out, looks like we paid this much and everything. And they love that.
Yeah.
They love that there's somebody that's there. For me, when I go into my system, I can also see if it's an HVAC claim, who is the technician. I have their number. I have their email address. Sometimes if an agent has an older client that needs a little bit more assistance and everything, I can provide them that information so that the agent has a little bit more hands-on experience. But I am involved, even John, my claims manager, if he needs to call the client to have more explanation around anything, or if they have further questions and stuff, he's always there to make that call.
And how would you describe the relationship between their typical homeowner's policy of insurance, right, for the homeowner, and then what they would be getting covered through what they would have through you guys through a home warranty? Like,
Yes.
Is there a clear distinction that people should understand?
Yes, and this is huge, and this is something what I bring up in my presentations, because this is honestly how the home warranty conversation needs to be had.
Yeah.
It needs to be.
So pay attention, agents.
Yes,
this is what you
pay
want to take.
attention.
This is what you want to take notes on here. Go
Yes,
ahead.
it needs to be so much deeper than, hey, do you want your washer or dryer covered? The conversation with buyers needs to be, what do you know about homeowners and what do you know about a home warranty policy and what it covers? Because homeowners covers disasters, fire, storms, theft. A warranty covers everyday wear and tear. Homeowners does not cover normal everyday wear and tear. And I have talked to so many insurance agents that see this, where dishwasher stops working.
Right.
They try to make a claim. The washer and dryer, the HVAC.
They try to make a homeowner's claim.
Yep, they're trying to make a homeowner's claim.
Right.
And even if you look at the data, I share this with my agents, and it is so profound. Only 5.8% of homeowners will make a homeowner's insurance claim. But 77% of homeowners will experience an unexpected repair in the first year of home ownership.
That's a big stat.
And I like to say the easiest way to describe a home warranty is to let clients know it fills the protection gap that homeowners insurance leaves.
That's a great way to explain it, and it's easy. Yeah, I think and I would have to believe that would be a common question that you'd be getting from not just agents, but also the homeowners themselves in terms of really clarifying what is being covered, what's not. And I'm sure it's all documented, but who really reads all that stuff anyway, right?
Yeah. I know, and I've talked to insurance agents, and they're like, we get this all the time. And, he even was like, I should probably start mentioning that in conversations when people are like, well, what about my coverage?
Yeah. No, that's smart. The roofing situation, I know that obviously there's homeowner claims involved with roofs when they face a big wind damage or obviously a hurricane or something to that effect. Does your policy have any attachment at all to wear and tear on the roofing side or no?
So this is where I'm going to be very transparent. We have, and a lot of home warranty companies have this additional coverage called limited roof leak coverage.
Okay.
Just like the name says, it's very limited.
Yeah.
It won't even cover tile or metal roofs. And I tell people, I was like, honestly, just contact a roofer to get some type of extended warranty or something. That's going to be your best bet.
So really the bread and butter of your services are going to be mechanical
HVAC,
operations,
HVAC,
the water
plumbing,
heater,
electrical,
right.
The cooling system. I mean, we have
pools, it sounds like, are attached to that as well.
Yep. Outdoor kitchens. If there's an additional dwelling unit, we have additional dwelling unit coverage, which I think is great because we have a lot of ADUs in the area.
That makes sense. Yeah. Do most of your clients end up renewing, or is it usually a 13-month and that's the end of it?
They usually renew.
They do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there like a, whatever that terminology would be, like length of, what's the right word? Like length of client retention or something? Or do you find that they just keep renewing as long as they have the house?
I mean, I've seen people hold on to their home
Does your company
policies.
put a limit on that as to how long they will allow them to renew?
I mean, I've seen people have it for 5 years.
Okay.
And more.
Okay.
So.
Is there a time where your company would just reject a renewal?
I think if there's an overload on claims.
Sure, if from a certain client, right?
Yeah,
it's gone a little nuts, and every 2 years they're asking
and there's
for another
a point
AC.
where everything is new. We replaced everything.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good point. And you mentioned earlier that the most common claim has to do with the HVAC, right?
Oh yeah,
which makes sense, the state that we're living in. And when you think about, you mentioned earlier, it's a $15,000 potential investment for a new HVAC.
Yeah.
What is an average cost for somebody to expect if they were to just get a policy?
So for single family home under 5,000 square feet, our top tier plan, which is what I recommend, is Diamond, $675.
Wow.
For 13 months of coverage.
Okay.
Yes, and that is something I love.
And it would be renewed at the same cost, or it would change in price?
It would probably change a little bit based on
the age,
what type of claims you have had as well.
Yeah.
If we start to see a lot higher ticket claims and everything, the price may adjust a little bit. But to go back to that,
$675, you said?
Yeah, $675. The reason I love HWA is that we are incredibly competitively priced with some of the highest caps in the industry.
By the way, is that like your most popular package? Because you mentioned you have three different packages,
yes.
right? So that's kind of the most popular one you would say is right at $675. And if you wanted more coverage in a certain area, then it would obviously go up from there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we even offer, which is interesting, mobile phone protection. So we can cover phones. So if you crack your screen, we have coverage for that.
Didn't know they even considered that. Yeah.
Yeah. But another reason why I love the Diamond and recommend it just because of the HVAC system and how it encompasses that, it also includes something called Orange Plus, and that includes homeowners insurance deductible reimbursement coverage up to $1,000.
Okay.
So say if a water heater busts, which I've seen several that happen recently, and there's wall damage or floor damage, home warranty companies don't cover secondary damage. And
that's where the homeowners would come in.
That's
right?
where homeowners comes in. And the reason I sit with clients and ask them what's important to them and everything, because I have been on the phone with a homeowner that happened to. Their water heater busted. And he said that his insurance agent said, check with your warranty company. There might be some type of reimbursement here. And I was like, okay. Kudos to that insurance agent. And so I pulled up his file and everything, and I saw that he had a different plan that didn't include it. That hurts me.
Sure.
I want to be able to help a homeowner. Even I had somebody who, reached out to me and was like, Tina, I can't find my policy number. I need to submit a claim for my washing machine. It malfunctioned. And I go into the system, I get her policy number, and I realize she has our lowest level plan. Doesn't include coverage for a washer and dryer. So these things, when I advise homeowners or even agents of what plan I recommend, there's a reason.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to make sure they are properly covered, and I want to make sure the agent isn't getting a frustrated call, and I want to make sure I'm not going to get a frustrated call as well.
Yeah. And you would hope that even just the basic documentation that the client is getting or assigning when they first get the policy should hopefully lay out exactly what it is that they're being covered by. But you're right. I mean, many people don't take that nitty gritty time to kind of dig in and figure that out. So having that consultative approach is always the smartest way to go, I would have to imagine.
Yeah. And sometimes people just look at the price as well.
Of course. And assume it covers everything. Right?
Yes, I know. That's the biggest thing. It doesn't cover everything. And it's funny you bring that up because going back to the agents that say, oh, home warranties don't work or they don't cover anything. Now that I'm on this side of things and I see the claims that come through and what gets denied and why people might get frustrated, let's make it clear. When your kids pour Legos down the tub drain and it's blocked, that's not normal wear and tear, guys.
Sure.
If you submit a claim and your house is on fire and the ceiling's collapsing, that's not a home warranty. That is going to be your homeowners. I was like, call 911.
Sure.
And then call your insurance. So it's been very fascinating to be on this side and see what is truly happening. And so I'm like, home warranties work, guys, but they follow a contract. Just like agents, you follow the four corners of a contract. So that's why it's key to know what plan you're getting, what the coverage is, and
just like anything else, it's about setting the right expectations.
Exactly.
And so if there is a clear line of communication and you can help the client understand clearly what it is they are being covered and what they're not.
Yes.
And if the agent's not completely comfortable having that conversation, that's obviously where you can step in, right? And be able to help support them in making that happen, which is, I know, what you do on a regular basis. So that makes sense to me as well. Do you find that you get any other common questions from agents when you do your educational presentations that maybe we haven't touched on yet in this conversation?
Usually how to order one.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like everything from how do I even start an order? How like what information do you need? And honestly, I even had a title company call me and they were like, Tina, can you clarify something for me? And I was like, yes, what's that? She's like, who is responsible for ordering the home warranty? She's like, is it title? And I was like, no, it's never title. And she's like, okay, that's what I thought. Now, if you're an agent who writes a home warranty into the contract, negotiates it during home inspection negotiations, it is you that should initiate the home warranty order.
Okay.
Now, if you're...
And they would do that by contacting you, I take it?
Contact me,
your person.
Or we have a real estate agent portal, because as I get busier, I want agents to be able to have, like, don't rely on my schedule to order the warranty. So you can have your TC set up an account for you, make sure they use it under the agent's profile, because it needs to be tied to an agent and the brokerage. And you can go ahead and submit an order. All you need is, the buyer's full name, phone number, email, so that we have a way to contact them, because they will have access to our client portal, and the property address, of course, closing date, and the title agent or attorney's contact information.
Sure.
Because once we hit submit, the agent and the buyer and the title agent will receive an invoice. For the buyer and for the agent, it's just for record keeping. But for the title agent or the closing company, that's for them to make sure that they include it on the closing statements. And so that once you're closed and funded, then the home warranty gets paid.
Yeah.
So it's almost
everything takes place at closing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a little reservation system. So that you reserve it and make sure it's on the closing statements and the...
Would you consider it almost like just like part of the concessions conversation as to how that would get lumped in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
And so if we were kind of summarizing, we covered a lot, I think, already with like some of the details about what to expect with home warranties, what it covers, what it doesn't, how to properly frame it. And I would highly recommend any agent who sees value in this conversation to connect with someone like Tina and invite her to come into your office if you're a broker or a team leader, and just provide some more detailed conversation, set up this portal for your team, which I think would be a huge win, so that you can get that progress going. But ultimately, like, most people that are in business, I think an agent really needs to settle with, how does this benefit me, right? Like, how is this going to benefit my business? And we touched on it a little bit earlier, but I just want to make sure we hit that point home. If I'm an agent and I work mostly with buyers or sellers, either way, and you were to talk to me about how exactly working with you is going to benefit my business, what would you say to me?
Client care. Taking your client experience to another level. The clients are the bread and butter of your business. For your buyers, how are you protecting them post-close? Being there for them. A home warranty is going to safeguard them financially. When you follow up with your clients after closing, you want to hear how they're making the home their own. You don't want to hear, we just had to replace the water heater, it busted and caused damage. You don't want to hear those conversations.
Yep. Why didn't that bum seller tell me that it was going to go in 2 months?
Yeah. And I even fell under that category. 2 weeks after we closed on our home, our AC compressor went out, and that was $4,500.
Yeah.
And that hurts.
Yeah, sure.
I would rather have that $4,500 going to, doing some updates, making the home my own, putting my mark on it. So in
theory, if you had a policy for $650, let's say, right? Would that have covered that in full? Is that how it normally would work? Or does it cover a percentage?
Yeah, it would have.
It covers it in full?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you get our top tier plan that has the most comprehensive coverage on the HVAC system, we've had full replacements on Diamond Plan.
I mean, that's a great investment right there.
Yes.
Totally.
Yes.
So I think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, I think most of the top producing agents, if not, at least thankfully the ones that I've had access to that have been on this show and that we've gotten to know over the years, truly care about their reputations, and they care about how they treat their clients.
Yes.
Right? They view it as they view their role as a true consultant. They want to be able to provide amazing service because they know that their reputation and their referrals are many times going to be tied to the experience that their clients have. And so to me, this is just another way to safeguard that.
Yeah.
And making sure that if you really want to build a business that's built on client care, built on referrals, built on trust and credibility and authority, you can utilize a tool like this in working with a professional like Tina to make sure that that you're protected, right? And I think sometimes, as you said earlier, like an agent might be missing the importance of that for their own brand and their own reputation, and be maybe wrongheadedly thinking that they're going to be putting something at risk when they work with somebody like you. But in many ways, I think it's the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Right. It's truly protecting their reputation to work, as long as it's somebody who is credible, which I know Tina is, and I know HWA is. And they're not the only company out there that provides great service. I don't want to give that impression, but they are a partner of ours, and we trust them. And we know that they do a great job, and they have a national reputation of serving clients on a high level. So we would obviously recommend that you guys dig in a little bit deeper with Tina on that.
Thank you. And you said something, acting as a consult.
Yeah.
That is exactly how I see myself, and that's what I say. Like, even though I'm supposedly a sales rep, I see that I'm consulting. Mm-hmm. I'm, meeting the agents where they're at. What are they needing in their business? How can I help? And with the clients that they give me, and I go through and they have questions. Like, at the end of the day, like, I want to do what's right for them as if they were my own clients.
Totally.
So,
because your reputation's also at stake too.
Yes.
So yeah,
Yes,
I get it. It totally makes sense. I mean, anybody who's right-minded wants to be able to stand behind their product and their service.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And, I've always been very reliable and trustworthy, and I want to keep that going.
Totally.
Sure, and sleep good at night.
Totally. And if you don't know yet, you could follow Tina if you want to tell them where they can find you.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes. So Facebook, just Tina Romanik. That's Romanik. And on Instagram, Tina Romanik _. And you guys can always reach out to me at 727-340-3737. I'm always here to connect, meet with agents where they're at. Even if you're skeptical about home warranties, I invite you to, talk to me. Let's have a conversation about it. I get it. Everybody has had a bad experience at some point. It's almost like for sale by owners. Mm-hmm. That's what they remind me of, is for sale by owners, because for sale by owners had a bad experience with an agent.
Yeah.
And they think that that's it. Once they hear another agent come to them, I
don't even want to have the conversation.
They don't want to have the conversation. And, you just have to disarm them. You have to address their concerns and, let them see not everybody's exactly the same. So.
Totally. I agree.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap up with running out of time, but I want to do a couple of minutes on just for people to get to know you more, for people who don't know who Tina really is on a personal side. Okay. So we've already mentioned Joey a little bit. Yep. What do you guys love to do for fun? What keeps you entertained when you're not jamming in the home warranty world?
Love going for walks. Here I have to do walks.
Which St. Pete is beautiful for that.
Yeah, I love hiking, but for here we don't really have any spots for hiking. So you will find us walking downtown along Vinoy Park with Ranger and
Ranger, I assume, is your dog?
Yes. Ranger is our 1-year-old German Shepherd.
There we go.
Yep.
Great dog. I love German Shepherds. There you go.
Yeah.
No kids yet, right? Do you want family? No? Yes?
So I have a stepson.
You have a stepson.
But I do want kids. That's kind of part of the reason why I stepped away from being an agent.
Makes sense. Sure.
Decompress myself and
a little bit more of a balanced time schedule with HWA versus what you were doing jamming with the team building side all those years, right?
So babies are in the plans.
Very cool. Well, there you go. Well, that's an exciting thing to think about.
Yes.
Couple rapid fire questions.
Okay, let's do it.
Do you have a favorite book, author, seminar maybe that you ever attended that you feel like made a big impact on you personally or professionally?
So I absolutely love Bob Proctor.
Yeah. He's got great content.
Yes. And I don't know if it was a book or a seminar that was recorded, but the Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life. Mm-hmm. I just love his teachings.
I don't think that's a book. I think, isn't that like a video that he created or content piece?
It could have. That's why I was like, I was not sure if it's a book or if it was just a seminar.
I've heard of it before. I don't think I've seen the whole thing myself, but I've seen like snippets of it, I believe. It is a book as well.
It's a book? Okay.
There you go. Bob Proctor. Check it out, people.
I think it may have started as just something that he was saying in one of his conference personal improvement, personal development seminars.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where it might.
And then he got it to the book level, huh? Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite movie?
Favorite movie? I love Grease.
Or TV show? Grease. You're a Grease gal. Okay.
Yeah, Grease is good. It's an oldie, but it's good.
So you got a little bit of an old soul there. That's the old soul spirit right there. Yes.
Yeah. It's so funny. Joey introduced me to the Breakfast Club.
You didn't know about that? It's been around for a while.
I know. I've heard of it, but I never saw it.
Gotcha.
So there's quite a few older movies that I haven't.
Which I was watching, like, I think it was on Netflix, the Charlie Sheen documentary
I
that they
saw
had,
that.
and he talks about his Breakfast Club early days of how he got that job, which was kind of a unique situation as to how he was even brought in by a friend of his. I think it was the girl who was the main actress in Dirty Dancing. I forget her name now, but the one that was tossed up by Patrick Swayze.
Yep.
So apparently they were friends, and she's the one that got him an audition to do Breakfast Club.
Yeah, I remember him talking about that.
Yeah. And that kind of led that whole thing. But yeah, that's kind of an iconic movie now over the years for sure.
Jennifer Grey.
That's the
Jennifer
one.
Grey.
See, it's good to have Rob here, man. He's always throwing in the good nuggets over there in the corner. All right, so we'll kind of put a bow here. We already threw your contact out there, but I like asking this question because I think it gives us an insight into the things that are most important to our guests. And I call it our legacy question. So when you think about that day, hopefully many years from now, Tina, and you're on the rocking chair and looking back to what you'd want to be most remembered for, right? What you think would matter most to you about your legacy and what you'd want to be most remembered for. What are some of the thoughts that come to mind for yourself, personally or professionally?
That I made an impact on people's lives, that anybody that connects with me always feels heard, safe, seen, understood, welcomed. And that, this is a tough question, but
we get deep here, Tina.
Yeah.
We don't want to hold anything back, right, Rob?
Yeah.
We get real.
I just want people to feel like they belong when they're in my presence.
Okay. Well, I think the role that you have now with in terms of your occupation and business speaks a lot to that desire, because yes, of course, it's servicing mechanical things of the home, but really I think based on this conversation, I get the impression that what motivates you more is knowing that the client is truly secure and taken care of, and that their experience is one that they really can lean on, right? And expect is the right thing to do. It's not just about a policy to me. That's not the vibe I get anyway.
1000%. My goal is still the same as it was when it was an agent, and it's for the homeowners to truly enjoy homeownership.
Sure. Which speaks directly to that legacy comment that you made there. So it was great to have you on the show.
Yes,
I'm glad that we were able to have you in, and I hope it allowed people who might not know a ton yet about your industry and what it is that you do and why you do it to connect a little bit more. And hopefully it also stimulates some questions that people might be able to have to reach out. But we always end the episode with a challenge to the audience. So whether you're watching live on YouTube or Facebook, or you're listening in on any of the 15 plus podcast platforms that we're on, what is one action step that you can take based on this conversation with Tina today that can help propel you forward personally or professionally? And maybe you're an agent who, for whatever reason, have never actually had a quality home warranty rep on your team. Maybe that's the simple thing that this can lead to. Is we talked a lot today about the advantages of having that and why that can make you more confident in your ability to serve your client at a higher level. So Tina, HWA, a great brand. She's a great person and somebody who I think would treat your clients with care. And so maybe that's the next step, just contacting her and having her come in. If you're a broker or a team leader and you'd like to have her come educate a little bit more in your audience and in your team, I'm sure Tina would be more than happy to do something like that. Maybe you're somebody who just needs to do some more research. You're one of those analytical thought process people and you want to do your own Google, do your own research, ask some questions, and hopefully this helps stimulate that a little bit and get you more information on why this should be an integral part, which is obviously something we believe with Tampa Bay Real Producers, or else we would not have home warranty as an option as one of our partners within our platform here. But take action on something. Maybe it's simply reading or watching The Breakfast Club, and that's what suits you. But let's take action on something, because ultimately that's what builds momentum in listening to these episodes. If you don't subscribe yet, by the way, just click the little button below. That way you'll be notified every time we drop a new episode, which is weekly. And you can find us, of course, at topproducersnation.com. You can find us on YouTube at Top Producers Nation to subscribe and listen in on all the different podcast episodes that we distribute. We put out about 150 episodes now on that channel. So, of course, we will see you on the next episode of the Top Producers Nation podcast. We'll see you later.